now we know the top lane matchup for G2. Immediate lock of the Camille into the Ambessa for Broken Blade.
So we did actually see this matchup come through before. It was
coming across to try and cover him a little bit as well. And you're doing a good job of tracking him. Hook's going to land him onto Jojo. He's force low, 200 HP, has to flash, but Jojo's just dead. You knew LeBron was there! Bad news for him is this. Like, he has no summoners now, and the ability of Wukong just to gank that lane is going to become massive, especially when Caps dings over to 6 and gets that Spirit Rush up. So you see a good trade coming out from the MKOI.
I think yesterday we saw a little bit of a different story where Alvaro and Supa felt much more like they were trying to play through a strong 2v2 against Kalist and Target.
He's capable of doing. We'll see if he can pull it off today, as right now he's grouped up with his jungler.
Oh, Alvaro's going to go in, hooked out of the knocker, but the chase continues onto Lebrov. Last Embrace will get the CC onto Elioya. Lebrov with the Titan's Wrath, not enough shielding. Super on the board for him.
For MKOI, looks like Elioya moving up here just to make sure he can get his topside jungle and keep his bottom lane safe in case any sort of funny business starts to move up towards his topside. Oh, maybe the late contest.
Jojo stepping in, one grub already down for G2. Skewmon trying to get forward to steal it away, another one with the smite. Elioya will secure it. Camp's looking for a flank, but it's very easy to collapse on him. He is respecting the fact that Jojo and Elioya can just jump in. Super across the wall, sneezing on them, but not really landing any of those germs. And in the end, it will be 2 grubs to 1 in favor of G2.
Okay.
And there's a potential lockup from Broken Blade coming through, baiting Mirwin in a little bit here.
Jumps in, Broken Blade has that Hexagon made, and Mirwin dodges away from the charm. Dawning Shadow coming out though. Mirwin with the public execution is publicly executed. Grand Starfall in by Elioya will get one in response. So far a 1-for-1. Caps, another charm is going to connect. But Elioya healthy enough to get underneath the tower. The question is, will G2 force a dive here with Skewmund and Lebrov on their way across?
Alvaro's on the way as well, trying desperately to get in, but flash forward.
Cyclones gives you movement speed though, and Elioya can't get away from Skewmund. Aegis Assault blocks the decimating smash or the crushing blow there from Skewmund. Alvaro joins the fray. Lebrov looking to walk away. Skewmund, even with a Shadowing Strike coming out, he's ignited. Magnus Storm as well. Skewmund's gonna die here. Probably to the minions. It's Alvaro who claims the kill.
That's such a big turn into difficult choices on the map, and I think this is where you do start to get a little nervous as G2, because this is not an MKOI that will just make often a silly mistake, but might be a TP in behind Jojo here.
Immediately looking for Jojo. Hexagon made him available to Broken Blade. The Realm War. Jojo's gonna try and flash back into it, but the Hexagon comes out, and Jojo cannot escape. Caps gets the kill, 1-0-2 now on Azari.
I do wonder if they actually are in-game. Right now, Jojo is still about halfway with both his flash.
Lebrov going in for the hook here. Charm's going to land as well onto Alvaro. Knocked up in the bouncy castle. Dawning Shadow coming out as well, and Alvaro's first fall in the fight. Elioya on the retreat. Jojo on the back line, but he doesn't land the overload onto Skewmon. Hooked out of the Realm Warp. Super now stepping forward into the last Embrace. He pops the barrier to heal to try and mitigate some of this damage, but he just can't do it. Cap still chases forward, and Elioya through the flash still dies.
G2 get everything.
It's one of the risks of forcing these fights early, but it's G2 that end up coming out on top, navigating the fight beautifully. Hans Sama and his positioning was just ruthless. The instant cleanse that came out from him as well to then reset and continue to dish out damage. Caps getting an extra cast of his ultimate. Alvaro is hovering around. It looks like that there's not going to be another fight to kick this one off, but Alvaro getting caught at the start, not really having that good engage is what I think made things very difficult.
MKOI are going to fight this because they got the second Drake. This isn't soul point or anything for G2, so they can delay. Infernal Dragon going over to G2. About a 3,000, 2,000 gold lead for them right now as Mirwin maybe caught out a little bit. Skewmon's on the chase. There's the Hexagon Maiden to lock Mirwin up. Skewmon comes in. Public execution through the Cyclone goes unstoppable, but the chase continues and Broken Blade finds his man.
Yeah, a good pick from G2, but we might have an answer on the top side as Alvaro actually has to run away. Lebrov with a good reset and move to the top side to keep Cap safe on the counterplay.
Now with the Herald coming down in bot lane, G2 looking to get their second tower of the game. MKOI unable to take one as of yet. Ooh, where are we driving? Okay, Skewmon.
A bit of both, perhaps. They don't really have much vision on that side of the map, but their priorities are on securing what towers they can, getting a bit of map control back in their favor. Alvaro going to be hovering around the top side. Caps needs to be careful because there are a large number of MKOI members on the top side of the map. That tower will be secured.
But he just doesn't really have the items to be a massive menace in these fights yet.
Hook's gonna land. Jojo couldn't immediately walking out. Elioya's caught up in the midst of 4 members of G2. And he is slain. G2 with good...
I mean, they feel very invisible right now. G2 is the one... Ooh.
Magnustorm goes in. Super's on his way across here as well. Super's going to start sneezing on them. Flashes forward, looking for LeBron here as well. Runwalk coming out as Alvaro and Super will follow it. Caps, though, has the Spirit Rush. Flash Room Prison. Can Caps get away? No, pull back. MKOI find 2.
This is the play we wanted to see from MKOI. A fantastic engage from Alvaro. Connects onto 4 members of G2, and it gives KOI an opportunity to force a fight. Super picks up a bunch of kills. Jojo gets 1 for himself, and they just barely keep that... Oh, never mind.
Doesn't have the Cyclone, and no flash on him or Caps would make it very difficult for them to fight around this Drake. It will be 2 apiece in terms of the Wyverns.
Someone that will not miss those windows to find a fight for his team, and this might be another one.
TP behind here as Mirwin's going deep. Broken Blade trying to trade with Jojo, as LeBron is the one who's caught out first. Hans Summer next up. Alvaro going a little bit deep as Caps. TP is behind them, and MKOI are fighting a 3v4, and Caps is here to surprise them. G2 find 3 already. Mirwin trying to get his way out of here. Broken Blade still chasing forward. Mirwin had to flash the charm. Does not connect from Caps, but G2 will continue the pressure. Last embrace in. Jojo turns it around. Mirwin dives in with a public execution. Might be able to kill LeBron, but as well can't quite. G2 find 5 for 1.
MKOI thought they had the jump, but they were just a bit too far away. G2 collapse faster, and they get the kills they need.
Just as I was praising KOI's ability to find fights, they find a fight that they ultimately didn't want. You guys already highlighted that they didn't quite have the numbers. G2 in a commanding position right now. The Baron going to be their main focus as they leave Broken Blade off in the side lane.
Who deals with him now?
Well, I mean, it's funny. Alvaro, he's hesitant. He gets charmed.
Charmed through the wall. Alvaro pulled back. Good shadowing strike. Jumps in with Magnustorm. Throwing a shadow out there for the shield as well. Mirwin dives onto the back line. And Hans Summer's already dead. LeBron follows suit. Super's found 2. He's looking to make it 3. And Scumon's next on the menu. Jojo will secure that one. But the Hexagon momentum from Broken Blade chases Super through his flash over the wall. In the end, a 3.
Which is, hey, I want to try and one-shot Hansam or one-shot someone that has that, or is on the back line.
And flash hook onto Alvaro. Goes in with the Magnustorm. Hans Summer immediately flashes away. Mom's called down. Broken Blade chasing Super out of the back of the fight, but there's good stun onto him from Elioya. Super still down. Caps now dancing forward. Broken Blade will fall. Jojo gets a massive shutdown from that, but it might be too little too late. It's a triple for Skumond. Only Mirwin left alive. G2 wipe him away.
There's just not enough on MKOI to stop the dive from G2. Broken Blade, Skumond, and Caps have one
Blade, and then it just becomes a clean-up fight. They end up losing Broken Blade, but the trade is worth it as they find themselves an ace and a Baron.
And now they're pushing forward for another inhibitor tower. It's Caps on his lonesome. The rest of G2 are back in base, apart from Hans Summer, who's just clearing out some vision around the regular season that Dylan Falco talked about, is coming to the fore right now. MKOI, no slouches themselves, but in this game, just seem to have... Right now, G2 pushing in 3 different lanes. Caps is up in the top side. Broken Blade going to be stopped by Mirwin down towards that bottom side. Remember, no inhibitor tower down there. Inhibitor in the mid lane will fall as Caps uses the minions to take the inhib tower in top. Inhib in bot falls, and MKOI getting down to the last dregs of hope in this game. Really have to force an engage at some point.
Yeah, I think it's just becoming too difficult. They can try with some of the wave clear, but Baroned up, it makes it very, very difficult, and you still got another 2 waves that are going to come barreling through before you can even deal with them. So I think at this stage, it's just going to be a rogue charm that might catch out MKOI and end it all.
Baron buff on the minions down towards the bot side. Super minion about where the tier 1 would usually stand in mid. G2 might use that as their chance to push forward. Baron expiring after this wave. They have 30 seconds left before that Baron buff does go down. Obviously double super minions in the next few waves as Caps goes in with the Spirit Rush, lands the charm only onto Elioya. Doesn't get much out of it. Was looking for Jojo. Doesn't have his flash right now. Hook's going to go in. Jojo puts some big damage down onto Caps, but he's able to Spirit Rush away. Alvaro already down, and now G2 trying to push in with a man advantage. The Nexus Tower is their target. Broken Blade steps in with that precision protocol. Does so much damage to the tower. No minions left for G2, though. Another hook going in from LeBron, but immediately he's burst down. A 4 for 4 now as MKOI hold on to their base. Or at least their Nexus Towers. Caps looking for another side. Super's got about 30 stacks in the last few moments on this Smolder. It's going to do a huge amount of damage. You can see Hans Sommer getting chipped a little bit. Jojo flashing forward. Hans with the cleanse. Hook coming out from the block to stop the Magnet Storm. Skewmon now chasing onto Jojo, but he has the Savage Shield. Is it enough? Not quite. Cap's already got a double as Super, Elioya, and Mirwin retreat to the safety of their Nexus towers, but I'm not sure they'll be safe for much longer. Broken Blade flashes in. Mirwin caught out. Broken Blade still has that GA. Caps will get another. Grand Starfall back in from Elioya. Super pops the Seekers on his fountain, just trying to survive. He'll take out Caps, but now he's looking at a 1v4, and even he can't stand against it. G2 will open up the series 1-0.
An overall convincing game.